Good evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities behind Black business. And tonight we have another jewel in our community, Sherry Chapman of Sherry's Earrings and Things. And I have seen Sherry around at a number of events, and we finally had an opportunity to have her on our show. So I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, Sherry, to be with us tonight. Thank
Thank
you.
you for having. Yes, yes.
Absolutely. So, as you know, family, we are a nonprofit organization. We are working to enhance the awareness and support of Black businesses here in the Chicago area. And we have a plethora of Black businesses out here who need our support. And as far as repair, restore, and grow Black communities are concerned, this should be just a part of our consciousness. When we need something, when we just want something, no, we're looking for our people who are providing us with all of these different um, items and experiences as far as food and clothing and entertainment and all of that. It's right here in our community. And we feel, Sherry, that when we spend our dollars with people from our community, that those dollars find their way back to supporting everyone. That's how the dollar circulates. But we have too many people in our community that have businesses here and they take the money out. And so it definitely is affecting what you see when you come to the south side and the west side of Chicago. So we want to put our businesses on here. We want you to know that these are real people, these are special people, and they're very sincere. They're working very hard. And we want to give you an opportunity to know who they are. And that's why we have this show every week.
Okay.
Uh, yes, ma'am. We are great supporters of the Southside Community Federal Credit Union, which has been in our community for over 20 years, providing loans, all types of loans, home loans, car loans, and you don't even have to go to some of these really high interest payday loan establishments anymore. You can go to the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. They have loan products that are much better and of much lower interest. And they're not just loaning you money, but they also give financial consultations, advice, and to help you get your dollars straight. So we ask that you support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. The way a bank thrives is when we put dollars, we deposit our money in those banks. And we have our money deposited in a lot of banks who do not give back to the degree that they should. So please support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. They are located at 55th and Wentworth in the shopping mall there. And then also, Sherry, we are great supporters of our Black bookstores because knowledge is power. And there's a lot of historical information out here. There are a lot of very astute writers, authors out here today, and their information is out here, and we need to be reading that information. And I don't know if you remember, we used to have like 22 Black bookstores here in Chicago. So that means that was a time period when people were really doing a lot of reading. And we lost a lot of those bookstores. We were down to almost two, but there is a resurgence of Black bookstores here in the Chicago area. Go to our website at rrgbc.org, and we have those bookstores listed. And we go a step further. We feature a Black bookstore on our website every month. and some we keep up for 2 months. And Frontline Bookstore is the bookstore that we have had up here on our website for 2 months. And we also have a book giveaway where we ask that particular bookstore to select a book, and all you have to do is subscribe. Go to rrgbc.org and subscribe, and you can become a winner of our book giveaway. So this month it was Robin Muhammad, and I have contacted Robin. Robin is actually in Flint, Michigan. And Robin is our winner of the book Groundings with My Brother by Walter Rodney. And this is the book that Brother Say Cool selected. It's about an anti colonial activist who worked with the people. He's a Guyanese, and he worked with his people, leading them into a lot of movements, a lot of revolutionary movements. And so, congratulations to you, Robin. You should be receiving that book very soon. And next month we will have another big bookstore, and then we will have another book. And then we want you to please go to Save Black Bookstores Chicago at change.org. That's Save Black Bookstores Chicago at change.org. We have a petition online. We want our bookstores to get contracts from our local schools. So that could help them out tremendously. One company should not be getting all of the contracts, all of the dollars within our public schools. And so this happens in a lot of other municipalities. So this is not something that is unheard of or is unfair. This is something that should be happening. We're trying to get 1,000 signatures. I think we have about 700 signatures now. And so we need to get a few more signatures, and we're going to move forward on that piece. And if you go to our website, we are building out a directory. Many of our businesses that have been on our podcast are on our directory. So that is something that we have up, and it is building out as we speak. So please go to our website where you can also donate, and you can purchase from our store to help us do the work that we're doing. So let's get to our guest tonight, Sherry, Sherry Chapman. And Sherry, again, as I stated, she is the proprietor of Sherry's Earrings and Things.
Right.
And did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Sherry, can you tell us what you offer with Sherry's Earrings and Things? Because when I've seen you, each time I've seen you, I've seen many different types of items. But what all do you offer?
Yes. I have Afrocentric products, unique jewelry, black books. The main thing, which you probably see a lot of, is all the Afrocentric products.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
one of the reasons why I started my business years ago, because I could never find black products. So that
Hmm.
was my interest in starting my business.
Okay. I know when you were at the Kwanzaa event, and Sherry is a vendor and a licensed vendor. And Sherry, I've seen you mostly at the Kwanzaa events, and you're absolutely right. You have Afrocentric products. This Kwanzaa, I purchased some cards from you.
The
Um,
black playing cards,
Not they weren't playing cards.
or
These
the
were the question cards. They had questions
regular
on them.
cards. Okay.
Uh
Yes, I
huh.
have those too.
Yep. And we also purchased a calendar, a really
Yes.
nice black calendar from you.
Mhm.
And I think my daughter purchased some earrings. So the items that you're selling are Afrocentric items. And are you able to
Yes.
purchase these items from black businesses or black manufacturers?
From my sellers, some are and some are not. I've had to request that they be black on some of them,
Okay. Okay. And I
like
think
the
that's
Betty
something.
Boobs earring, like
Okay.
Betty Boobs, the black Betty Boobs. I don't want the white Betty Boobs. Betty Boobs was originally black.
Okay. Yes, she
Yes, ma'am.
was. Yes, she was.
Yes. A lot of
I
people
remember.
don't know that.
No, they didn't. Do you know the story behind her and how that how it
Just,
changed?
just basically, she was a singer. And of course, they stole her name and everything from her and then reinvented her to be white, which she never was. But a lot of people don't know that. When I personally see people with a white Betty Boobs on, I tell them, no, do not wear that. Get a
Mm-hmm.
black Betty Boop.
A lot of people don't know that, and I know growing up as
Correct.
a young girl, a little girl, we watched cartoons a lot. And Betty Boop was
Mhm,
always on the cartoons, and we read comic books a lot back then. And she was in the comic books, and she was
mhm.
a white girl.
Yep.
That's just a
And
that is just another example, Sherry, of some of the creations that we have made that have been told, just stolen and totally taken out of context.
yes, but if they don't know it, that's why we have to let people know.
Absolutely.
Something as simple as that.
Something as simple as that. And so, what you're
Hmm.
doing, it is very important because you're putting our products out here. You're putting our creations out here. The
In front of our people. Yes.
That's right. And the calendar that I purchased, I really like those pictures and the information that was on those
Hmm.
calendars that you had.
Hmm. Black history.
Black history,
Yes.
Black history. So what? So you basically are selling books, and you basically are selling earrings, and you mentioned and you had the calendars. What other types of things?
Afrocentric products.
Okay. Do you ever
The
have any clothing?
calendars, I could, pardon me?
Do you ever have any clothing items or anything else?
Very rarely. I have t shirts, but of course they're black.
Okay.
Kwanzaa shirts at Kwanzaa time. Um, Black Betty boobs. Just black shirts for black
Okay.
people.
For black people. Okay.
Hmm.
That's great. And how long
Hmm.
have you been doing this? How long have you been operating as a vendor, Sherry?
Well, I'm a legitimate business registered with the state. I've been in business for 18 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
I'm a licensed business, but I
Wow.
do vent. Yes.
Okay. Now, do you do this full time? Would you consider this full time or
Yeah, I'm retired, but I was doing it while I was working also. So
okay?
it just fluctuates. But I'm retired now, but I was doing it while I was working. I was doing both things.
So what was your occupation at the time?
At I worked at Xerox Corporation
Okay.
37 years. Hmm.
37 years for Xerox.
Hmm.
In what
Correct.
capacity?
Oh, I was manager and I was employee, so I did both.
Mm, wow, that is a long time. And so while you were working at Xerox, you started doing this vending
I
with
was
the black
doing
products, the Afrocentric
my
products.
business. Right.
Okay, okay. And was it difficult to get started with this? How did you get started? What all did you have to do?
Well, everybody has different. ways that they travel. But because in the back of my mind, I always wanted to do Black stuff, that was what my adventure was, to find Black products and bring it to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. And with me working at Xerox, I kind of had a built in audience to get their yay and nays from some of those people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And so where did you first where would you, if you can remember back, where was your first vending event? Where did that happen?
Oh, I think it was both the African Fest and Dixon School. Those were the two.
Okay, the African Festival in Washington Park. Was it
Yes,
in Washington
and
Park?
I still do. Yes, I still do that in Dixon School.
Okay, yeah, those are two big festivals. So that's where you started.
Right. They've been going on for a while. And I wasn't sure when I first went to, let's say, the African Festival, but I went to check it out, trying to be open minded about everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I like what they were presenting. Same thing with Dixon School. I'm thinking, what am I going to do at a grammar school? But I went up there and
Hmm.
checked it out. And I
That's
signed up the same time, and I've been there ever since also.
wow. That is a
A
very
lot of
well.
people attend both events.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That
Hmm.
one at Dixon is a very well attended event. I think people look forward.
Right,
They look
right.
forward to.
By both vendors and people shopping for our products.
Okay, okay.
But well
And so,
attended by a lot of people.
do you go to any other types of events? What other events have you been to?
Oh, yeah, I do churches, different women's organizations. Yes, I do.
Okay. And are they all here
I
in
I,
Chicago?
I used to No, I used to travel out of town, but since COVID started years back, I don't do as much traveling. I may go like to Michigan or Indiana, but I don't do as
Hmm.
much traveling as I used to. But yes, I will go out of town.
Okay. And when is your
Mhm.
busiest time of the year?
Well, it fluctuates because technically things still have not gotten back to normal because of COVID, so it
Hmm.
changes. Um, February it was usually super good, but that changes too with what's going on. November, December is good, but that changes too, just because of all the COVID stuff. And
So how did COVID impact the vending
well,
business?
it a lot of places that we used to vend at totally stopped because of COVID. If they didn't totally stop, they dropped the number of times that they were putting on the shows for the people.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Wow.
kind of gave us a standstill.
Mm-hmm. So now you're limited to where you can go.
Yes, it because all the same organizations that were doing shows don't necessarily do them now, or they don't do as many as they used to. Because Dixon just started back, what, 2 years ago? So
Mm-hmm.
they had totally stopped.
Okay.
But just hang in there. That's all you can do is keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang in there.
So since it's coming back, is it different than it was before? Uh,
Yes, a little bit different. But one thing for sure, they have pretty much the same vendors there. So people, if they're looking for you, they know, oh, Sherry's going to be at this because she always did it. So that's good exposure for those vendors that have always done it.
Hmm.
Yes.
So,
Whether
so
it's a
how do you,
big organization or a small organization, some are still doing it.
okay. And so I'm sure you have a following after 18 years. You know, people are
Oh,
looking for
yeah.
you. Yeah, when you go to, I'm sure if you go to Dixon, there are people looking for you. You know, family,
Hmm.
we're talking to Sherry Chapman of
Sherry's
Sherry
earrings and things.
Earrings and Things. And
Yeah. I
Sherry,
had a lady call me the other day from Arizona. She used to be here in Chicago and she needed some clip earrings, so she couldn't find any. So she called me. I shipped them out to her.
oh wow.
So
Okay.
I'm glad that they remember. That's why I give my
Absolutely.
business cards and flyers away real easy.
Mm-hmm. So you sell clips. You sell clips earrings.
Well, I
Or
sell
you can
both,
make them, you
but
can
I
make them
also
clip.
have clips because
Okay.
there are people that don't wear pierce. So I have to have some product for them.
That's true. That's true.
Yes,
I was
yes.
I was one of those people because I had my ears had split, and so I
Mm,
wore clip earrings for a long time until I finally had my ears repaired. But then I'm
repairs.
very careful about the earrings that I wear, you know, because of what
Okay.
happened. But
Mm.
I'll say for
And,
decades,
and
yeah.
some people wear both, clip and pierce. Some wear both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. But you had a vision, you had a desire for black products and to get black products out here in black people's hands. And you just went out
Right.
here and
And
you just started
that's
doing
why I
it.
started my business because I could never find black products. That's what made me do it. I knew it was some out there. You just have to find them.
Wow. That's wonderful. You know, I
Thank you.
visited Africa, and they, you know, the first time I went, I was in, I believe I was in Ghana, and I just saw so many vendors. There were so many vendors out everywhere, and people get up every day, just like you go to a job every day. They're setting up
Hmm.
out there, and this is how they're servicing the community with the things that the people want, and how they're sustaining themselves, you know, economically. And so,
Yes.
do you see vending as a way that, as a good business to aspire towards, that you can make a living off of? You know, I know some people do, um, but do you see that? Or how do you see that?
Yes, I believe it is, but I will say that most of the vendors that are vending are not legitimate businesses. They just vend, but it
Oh,
is a means. Yes.
okay, okay. So you have to be an outside of not being a legitimate business or being a legitimate business. I'm sure there's some characteristics that are going to come along with you being successful in this
And
business.
it's different for different people, different products. It's a
Hmm.
difference. But I
Okay.
enjoy what I'm doing, and the fact that I can present these black products to the people, that's the most satisfying.
Wow. Okay. So do you
Mhm.
have your go-to people, or do you go and look for things, you know, to have at your events, or
Well, I
so?
pretty much have the same thing everywhere I go. I just have to keep my merchandise restocked.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And I'm
One
sure,
thing, for,
go ahead.
go ahead. I
I'm
was going
sure.
to say one thing that I've been to Africa also, and one thing once I went there, I added shea butter to my line.
Okay.
It's different. It doesn't sell as much as I used to because people pretty much buy the shea butter from the Africans. But I
Okay.
still sell some.
You still sell it. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, they are. I notice when they come in, they have a whole lot of product, you know,
Hmm.
regardless of whether it's a big event or a small event. When they come in, it's a whole lot. So
Right.
that's another thing, being able to keep your stocks. Do you buy your shea butter from the Africans?
No,
Okay. Okay.
because and initially I was, but because I wanted something different,
Okay.
because there's so many of the Africans they can buy from, I found a product that is still shea butter, still African shea butter. So it
Mm-hmm.
just depends. But I
Oh,
don't sell it as much anymore as I used to. But I do still carry it.
okay. So
Mhm.
are you able to sell beyond the events, like do things online or anything like that?
Well, my website is no website. I used to have it, too many problems, but people call me
Mm-hmm.
and I ship out. So it's something as simple as that. Or
Okay.
if they call and want to see some pictures of some things, I'll uh, take pictures, send the picture, and they can select that way.
Okay. Do you ever do fundraisers? People ever approach you by doing fundraisers with your products?
No, sure haven't.
Okay. Okay. Because I could see that. Um, yeah. And so, what would you say are some of the challenges that come along with being a vendor?
Well, just knowing which products to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Pricing is always very important.
Okay.
Some vendors overprice and then they're not happy if they don't sell. But you just gotta have pretty much a good price on your merchandise.
Mm-hmm. So how do you go about figuring all of that out?
Well, one of the ways are the price that you pay for it might be the price where you get it from. Different different avenues.
Okay. Okay. And I know some vendors, probably one of the concerns I hear about some vendors is what they have to pay to be at
Oh,
various events.
the
So what do you
vendor's
think?
fee, yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
what do you what
that can make a difference. If it's way too high, even if it's a good show, it might not be that good that you would pay a super high vending fee.
okay,
But that can be an issue for anybody.
okay. So does the vending fee factor into the cost of the products? Do people end up doing that?
It would have to. It would have
No.
to.
Okay,
But I don't change my prices just because I'm doing a different event. A lot of vendors do, but I'm a legitimate business. I don't.
okay. So if somebody was going to, let's say, okay, I want to be a vendor. I have some products that I want to sell. what all kinds of things are they going to have to do this, to set up, to be available for, because you do inside shows, you do outside shows. Obviously, you work at the
Both.
or you set up at the African festival. That's outside.
Yeah,
Um,
I do both.
okay. So, what all types of equipment and things do people have to have when they're setting up?
Well, you have to have your own tables, um, a stand. If you use a stand, it just, each business is different, but definitely tables and
Hmm.
chairs.
Okay. And some people
Mhm.
have tents, like covering.
Yes, tents would be something if you're doing an outside event and the tents are not provided. Some places will include the tent as part of your vendor fee.
Okay. Okay. And what
Mhm.
happens when it rains? What happens usually to vendors in terms of
Oh, well,
the
in,
fees that
that
they,
that ends the show, especially if it's raining hard.
and what if you have paid? Do you get money back when I've always wondered
No,
about that.
no refunds.
No refunds.
Nope.
Okay. I know I go to a lot of events. Um I go to the festivals, I've been to Dixon, I go to Black Women's Expo, and you have a variety of items, but I know I look at our market, our business market, and people have a
Okay.
lot of t-shirts. It'd be a lot of times it's a lot of t-shirts. And then there are body oil products, lots of those. Um, how do we get to now? These are novelty things that people like, but how do we get to having more products, more of a variety of products? Because most of our the ones that we go to, they just, like I said, they mostly will have T-shirts and they'll have body oil products. I'm starting to see some
Well,
candles.
people have different interests, and that's how they choose their products based on their interests. Sometimes people make candles and they want to sell them. Some people make body products, they want to sell those. So it's just
Okay,
their particular interests.
okay. I guess I'm just starting to look at the vending because I see it so much as
Hmm.
an opportunity to go places and to get different things, to get novelty things, but also to get purchase things that I need, you know, um, like tissue, socks, detergents, those types of things. Do
Some
you ever hear?
some
Do you ever?
vendors do sell those, mostly the Africans, but there are vendors that sell products like those.
Okay, that's not something that I've seen much of. I'll see jewelry.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I guess when people come, they're coming for something. They're coming and look and seeing for something different. That is for sure. But in terms of
Right.
businesses in the Black community, um, and I know you have been around this city, and you've been to the north side, probably south side, west side. When we go to the north side, it's just saturated with all kinds of businesses. You know, they might game stores, just everything. And
I I pretty much am in the black neighborhoods because the white people don't like my products. I
okay,
won't say don't buy my products. Occasionally I might sell some of my jewelry, But if it's black jewelry, of course, you're not going to buy it. So I pretty much stay within the black community for doing my shows.
Okay, so but what I was alluding to was that I would wish that we could have a markets on a regular basis, and not just at the festivals during the celebration time, but there's something that is always available on a constant, because people are constantly shopping, people are constantly spending
So
money.
you just contact that vendor if they had something that you wanted, and I'm sure they'll mail it to you or bring it to you. You know, whatever the two of you want to work out.
Okay, okay. We're losing your focus we're losing you off the screen.
There
Okay,
you go.
go. There you go. There you go. Um, so what are some of your and well, let me go back to this. Also, when I look at a store like Macy's or even Walmart, they're just a big store with a lot of small stores inside of one, is what they really, most of them are. You got these different companies that are inside. So that's where my thinking was going, that we had a place where we had a market that was there all the time, and people could come, and then different people would have their items, set up. Different vendors would have their items set up there. But like, yeah, on a regular basis is what I was thinking of.
Mhm. Mm.
So would
Well,
that be
that's pretty
something that
much
you would
the,
participate in? Would that be
yes,
something?
I would.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would. If those stores had something like that, definitely,
Mm-hmm.
because that gives me continuous work.
Okay. Okay. Absolutely. So what are your future plans? What are your plans for the future with your vending?
Oh, just to keep doing it.
Keep
And
doing.
I change, yeah, I change as needed my products. But yes, definitely keep doing it.
Okay. And have you been able to do, are you the only person in your family that does this? Do people in your family? Is
Yes,
this something that
I
you
sure
do? You're the only one. Okay.
am. Hmm.
Well, I'm sure somebody is looking at you and watching what you're doing, and you have inspired, some people, other people with what you're doing, especially since you've been doing it for so long.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
people, other vendors ask me for suggestions and ideas, but what may be good for my business might not be good for yours. But I will just give them, my suggestions, and because everybody has to do what's good for them.
that's true. That's true. But there are some things that you are doing that are obviously some good, sound business strategies that's kept you in business all these years. And,
I
they've been
keep
good for
doing
your
it.
business. Hmm. And you keep doing it, and you enjoying what you're doing. That's what's really
Yes,
important.
very much so. I very much enjoy it.
Wow. Okay. And so, do you feel, obviously, the fact that you're selling Black products and you're selling Black products to Black people, and you're getting as much of your products to sell from Black people, do you feel that you're helping to circulate the dollar in the Black community?
Oh, yes. It may not be as much as what most people think, but the circulation itself is a good point.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's
I
been,
mean,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
now I was just going to say if there was a white person selling something and a black person selling something, the same thing, they would buy it from the white person before they would buy it from the black person. It could be the exact same product,
Why do you think
which
that's
that
the case?
teased me out. No, I didn't know that's the case
Now I'm asking why. Why do you think that's the case?
because they think that they can get it cheaper for them.
And get it cheaper?
That's what they think, yes.
Mm-hmm. But that's not really
And
the
that's
case.
no, not at all. And one thing I will say that is kind of a turn off for me.
Mm-hmm.
People will come and ask me, how much is this? How much is that? But when they
Mm-hmm.
go to the white people, they look at the price tag. And I have price tags on all my products.
Okay.
So I don't like that.
And this is
But
black
I
people
do
doing this.
answer their questions. Pardon
Mm-hmm.
me?
This is black people that are doing this. Or
Right. They will ask the black people, which most black vendors do not have pricing on their merchandise. And that kind of it's not good for me because I have pricing on everything and they don't even look to see the pricing.
hmm,
But when they
I
go
thought
to the white vendor, they don't ask them prices.
I thought people were required to put prices on the products.
Well, I'm I'm not sure if it's required, but I would think you would.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to a store, you see prices on everything. You come into a store with the black folks, so put prices on everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's only
But
fair to the customer to have the prices on there because then you know how much it costs and somebody can't just charge you whatever they want to charge you for it.
yeah, what I'm saying is they don't put the price, they don't look for the prices at
Mm-hmm.
black businesses.
Okay. But that's an interesting phenomenon that black people would not question, the white person about their prices and try to
Mm-hmm,
pay less money.
hmm.
And that's something you can't, you have a product, you have a price, and
Right.
you have to you're looking at your profit margin, and so you've got your pricing and everything set up for that. Do you think do you think reparations would help our businesses if we got reparations? I have to ask that. I
Uh, I honestly don't know. If it did, it would be very little.
think it would be very little.
Hmm.
Why so?
I I just don't know. I don't feel as though it would, and I could be totally wrong.
Hmm. So do you think giving black people getting money on the table wouldn't give people an opportunity to maybe go start up some businesses? Because that's one of the major complaints we hear about people trying to start up and even maintain a business is lack of capital.
Well, like I said before, it's different for everybody. Yes, I'm a legitimate business, but I never wanted a storefront
Okay,
because one of the main reasons, if I had no sales, I still got to pay the rent at the storefront,
that's right.
pay my employees. So it's different for different people.
Hmm.
That's why I said no.
Okay, okay. And you did mention that you have books. I meant to ask you about
Black
that.
book, black
Hmm.
books for
So what?
adults and kids.
Okay, so what are
Black
some?
books for adults and kids.
So
Hmm.
what are some of the books that you have?
Oh, you mean like the names?
Uh huh.
Well, I have old ones like Malcolm X, Martin Luther. I
Mm-hmm.
have um oh um just went blank. One for kids, for the little boys, one for little girls, for adults, for women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your biggest seller? Would you say your books, your calendars, your games, your earrings,
Well, it just depends. Like around Christmas and first of the year, the calendars, yes.
or the calendar?
The
Oh, for sure.
books at Christmas time only sell pretty much the kids' books. Not a
Mhm.
lot of that, so it changes.
Okay. Okay. So Black History Month is coming up next month.
Real quick.
So where will you be?
I don't know.
Not sure yet.
Things have not gotten on my list, so I'm not sure if the events that I previously did in February are having them or if people just haven't sent out the information yet.
Okay. Okay. So if people want to purchase from you, how can they get in touch with you?
They can contact me at 708 807 1705. They can call, they can text, I can send pictures.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you have any products in any stores or anything now? Do you have like any of your calendars or anything or any stores?
No, I do not.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Well, you have a very interesting business, Sherry.
Well,
Um,
thank you. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate
And
your support.
absolutely. And vending is it's I think it's a good opportunity for people right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if people have an interest, something that they're interested in and putting out here, um, vending can be a way to go. And as you stated
Right.
earlier,
Right.
it can be lucrative. It can be something that you can sustain, but you have to figure out if I'm hearing you correctly. You got to know your clientele. You have to know what they want, and you got to stay stocked with the product. And
You gotta work your business. Yes.
you got to work your business. How many events do you
Hmm.
do a year? Since you mentioned that,
About 25.
25.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's like about two a month, or is it just really heavy at certain times?
It fluctuates. Yes.
It fluctuates more so in the
Hmm.
summer, would you say?
Yes.
Okay, okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, would you like to have any closing remarks about the vending business, about your business? Is anything that you would like to talk about that we did not cover tonight?
Oh, okay. Yes, sure. Just it's just like when you get involved with something, you need to check all the dynamics out, make sure that it's what you want,
Mm-hmm.
and be sure to ask questions from other people doing a business, not necessarily the same products, but get their suggestions or whatever once you start your business. And definitely be a legal business.
Legal. And you have mentioned that word a number of times. And
That's
people know
very
that you are
important. Very,
okay.
very important. At least I think it's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you shouldn't be out here doing business if you're not a legal business.
Mhm.
Because when you're a legal business, then you can write off on your taxes.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes. A lot of
Mhm.
things.
Write a lot of that's a big one right there.
Hmm.
Your taxes. Wow. So, are you going to be going to any other cities this year?
Um, I can't say right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I will.
Okay.
It's just not a lot of out of town
O-
events.
Okay. So, Chicago's a good place for vending, would you say?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you're basically on the south side, or would you are you do you do any vending on the west side as well? Because we always split Chicago up into the south side, the north side,
I've
the west
I've
side.
done some on the west side, but there aren't a lot of events on the west side.
Okay, and mostly on the south side.
Hmm.
Okay, wow. Okay, so again, family, we have been talking to Sherry Chapman tonight, and Sherry is a vendor, and her business is Sherry's Earrings and Things. And if you are
Correct.
out at a number of events like Kwanzaa, Dixon School, the African Festival, and some other events,
Juneteenth,
what's the
Juneteenth, Black History events.
okay, Juneteenth. Oh wow, I'm sure that's really a big one. Um,
Hmm.
and Sherry started this business um, just like we started this business because we want to enhance the awareness and support of Black businesses. And Sherry started her business because she wanted our people to
Black
be
product.
exposed to our products.
Right.
And we have created so many things, and there's so many things out here that we have created that we know of and those that we don't know of, like Sherry mentioned earlier in the show, Betty Boop, who Betty Boop really was, a Black person.
Black woman. That's
That's
right.
right, a Black woman, and many people do not know that. And so that's why
Right.
it is very important to support Black business. It's very important to get our products out here. It's very important to read and learn about our history so you can know some of these things. And
Exactly.
yeah, because otherwise, so many people pick up Sherry, just like our music. Right
Hmm.
now there have been some discussions or some debates about who created hip hop. Some other ethnic groups have tried to come in and say that they created hip hop. They
Hmm.
created jazz, and we know where this music came from. Out of
That's right.
out of our experience as people here, out of our oppression as a people here in this country. And so it's very important that we delineate ourselves and we put our, our arms around our creations and our people who have created and let our children know about this.
Right.
So we need people like you. We need more people out here like you, Sherry.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that would help. And also, one other thing, there are plenty everyday people that just make products and sell them to
Mm-hmm.
businesses or whomever. So
Mm-hmm.
that's another way to get your Black products on the market, that you would sell it to a vendor, to a Black shop, and you would
Okay.
have business too. Because I have a couple of people that used to make stuff for me, and it
Okay.
was always different, and people loved it.
Okay.
So that's another way that you can get some black products too.
Okay, so you have Sherry out here, and Sherry is definitely interested in looking at other products that other people might have that she can sell, or would be willing to sell for you. And Sherry knows how to present her products, and Sherry knows where to go, and she knows how to work her business. So you could be a good contact for some people. So again, Sherry, you want to give us your number and how to contact you?
Here, it's 708 807 1705. Sherry Chapman, Sherry's Earrings and Things.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Sherry, thank you for coming on tonight. And we thank you for the work that you're doing in our community because you are, and we all have, you know, the issue that we have is so big. No one person can address everything, but we all have a small part to play. and,
Yes,
and,
yes.
and what you do counts. You know, it's not, you don't
Thank
always
you,
have to
thank
come
you.
out with the big and the huge. It's every little bit counts. Everybody making a contribution, and that's what you're doing.
Mhm.
That's what we're doing. We're a small organization here, but we do things to try to support our black businesses, and so that's one way we're trying to keep our community strong. So,
I
Sherry,
appreciate you having me on your show. It's definitely something very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
okay, and we'll be putting you in our directory as well. So that'll be
Oh,
there
okay,
so people. Absolutely. So that's why we have our directory. People that come on our podcast is how we're building our directory out. And we've had quite a few people. So, family,
okay.
remember, support our Black bookstores. Remember to support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. Uh, Sherry Chapman of Sherry's Earrings and Things. Please support
Mhm.
Sherry and support Black businesses because that's what's going to keep us
Yes,
strong. Okay? So, Sherry,
yes.
thank you again for coming. And family, you have a good night.
Thank you. Take